You cry to materiality, other people for reassurance. Damned if you get it, damned if you don't. How many different ways can I say this? The moment you get separated from good in your innocence, the first thing you do is make an excuse. How many of you have never made an excuse? And then you will say, sure I do. Doesn't everyone? Another excuse. You're finished. Yes, I do. It's wrong. But your whole life, once you make that excuse, it prevents you from outgrowing that excuse mechanism. The excuse comes to you. It's given to you. You didn't invent the excuse. You know, Johnny made me do it. There's about 50 of them, and then starts all over again in every language. You haven't got an original idea in your head. You haven't got an original excuse in your head. It's given to you by the force that has deposited itself in an embryonic state inside you. And none of us are true to ourselves. We have an entity, a nature inside us that answers to the world, and the world can pull your conditioning. It can call upon it, and you'll obey. The next person who can upset you calls upon it and adds to it and separates you further from the good by which the evil can be overcome. In other words, they anger you, they upset you, they irritate you. Or they appear to love you and make you feel comfortable in your fallen state. See? So they encourage you. So someone's human love, the fiendishness of human love, is that it always betrays true love. Listen, when you get married, call me about marriage, would you? Because before you can be tutored, before the time of understanding, you've got to become mature, very, very mature before you enter any relationships with sex involving sex. Marriage especially, of course. Because if you jump in with both feet, thinking that you're going to go to paradise, you got it wrong, my friend. And it's living hell. It's the worst kind of hell. It could be beautiful, but it can even be rough, even when it's beautiful. It's a rocky road, because we have to learn to love each other, not lust each other. We have to lose the lust and replace it with love. And if you may not know what I just said. You may think, oh, no more sex. Less is more. I have to tell you, less is more. And more is less, and you'll be less. There won't be anything left of you. If you're a man, that is. You'll be broken as a woman. And always the case. I want you not to need someone's advice. I want you to have your intuition. Listen to your intuition. It will never fail you, but intuition is the light unto your feet. And you live it, it's faith. See? I've been talking to you about submission, servitude, passing for love, going along to get along, appeasement, loving your children into being terrorists. Because they're not any different when you love them, when you try to avoid confrontation. You've got to learn to confront. You've got to learn to say no. There's no difference between a terrorist and your children if you don't know how to say no to them. They need you to say no to them. That's what love is all about. You have to know what the boundary is. You have to know when they're caught up with temptation. I had a son. My son is Alan. He's like 44 now. And he has his own business, big business. He's in the radio business too, separate. In the entertainment business. And I remember when he was about 12 years old, I got a phone call from him. And he says, Dad, you still want me to come home at 5 o'clock? And he's never done that before. I said, what are you talking about? Do I want you to come home at 5 o'clock? Oh, yes, of course. Come home at 5 o'clock. I told you to. My dad says I got to come home. See, he was caught up in something. He couldn't say no to the gang, to the people around him. He couldn't say no. But his father could say no to them. And I was stronger. My influence, respect for me, was stronger than his friends. That's what a parent has to be. The reason why you say no to a child, because the world has hold of him. He got ideas from the world, false perceptions, and ideas, selfish ones. He wants his own way. It's not his own way. An ideas come to him. He wants this, he wants that. He wants to go to a dance. He wants to, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. But you make it up. I can't remember anymore. I didn't remember the principle. No, that was good. Children need for you to say no because the world has them. And as they grow older, the world is exerting a stronger influence on them. And you can't be part of the world and save them. You have to be a stellar example. You have to be a noble influence. You have to see that light in you. Firm, gentle, kind, but firm. No means no. We're going to go to our caller now. It is Gary from Michigan. Hello, Gary from Michigan.
Hello, sir.
What can I do for you?
I've just been listening to you for a few months, and you seem to make a lot of sense. I've suffered from depression for 20, 25 years, been on and off different medications. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
No, they never will. When they're working, they're really just keeping you from seeing that you've got a problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to gather from you. And I just, all the problems that have all the problems that come along with that, with the family and my own life.
Because you're not your common sense is depressed, and your emotional, your irrational side functions doesn't function very well. You function more from emotions and from anger and rage and going along to get along, and everything gets worse because of that. And then you got more, and then you get more depression because you get angry. What you have to break in the cycle is a vicious cycle. Things go wrong, you get upset. All right.
Exactly.
Now, where you have to catch it, something's going to go wrong when you put down the phone because it's like a production line. Something's in motion, which you've set in motion already. All right. Several things are going to go wrong, which you helped to make happen.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to eat that, and you have to own it.
Yeah.
Now, once you can do that, you can be a man. You can be a man said, yeah, I see, I got upset, and that's why I got a bigger problem. Now they're upset with me, etc., etc. It's worse. It is an evolution of upsets, an evolution of revenge, right? Getting even, so to speak. Rebellion, conformity, going along. For you, it'd be going along, but you're going along with someone who's wrong. And you're giving them power. And then you get upset because things don't go right when you go along with them, and you shouldn't be going along with people. But anger makes you want to not be angry, and if you go along so as to avoid being angry, and you get angry anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, here's the remedy. And if you can wait till after the break, I'll finish the point, but I'll start now. What keeps the cycle going is resentment. If you can meet the next moment and be prepared for it, and I'll freeze frame it right now. Be prepared for the next moment when something is going to go wrong as sure as hell as it will. And if you could learn to stand back and sort of, take it in your stride. Feel the pain, the hurt, but not the anger towards it. Feel the hurt, not the hate. It's okay to feel the hurt, but not the hate. And you have to have a certain objective state to know what I'm talking about. We'll be right back. FHU.com, that's the website, by the way, I should mention it. And if you want to order something, and if you can't afford a book, not so much of a book, but the basic material, which is the meditation exercise, why don't you just ask for it anyway, and we'll send it to you for no charge. If you want to give a donation, just give anything you want. And I think that's fair. I'll tell my staff in the morning, just if anybody calls, it's just, give anything they want to give, that'd be fine. I don't want to put a price on it. I don't like doing that. You had to do that in the beginning, but because of the World Wide Web, and because we can have an income from that. Please God, it's not as good as it ought to be, but it's growing. we can afford to be more and more generous. And we're especially generous to prisoners behind prison walls. And we help those. That's our pet project, to help people who shouldn't be behind bars. But when they come out, they don't ever have to go back, because we teach them how to deal with the stresses that put them there.